Mind you, their fight career is a rather short one. They, in their 20s, they probably finish up. But certainly very, very tough. It's a way of life for these guys.
Non-Leck in the red trunks, and we're looking at Pathai, Uthai Pathai in the blue trunks. Sizing one another up at the moment. And of course you're going to see the knees.
As you see those knees, they're not going in directly straight lines. They're slapping around to the side of the body into the kidney area. And I guarantee you, half a dozen of those on the same spot, and you're not a well boy after a while.
We saw a little bit earlier on tonight elbows used for the first time. We don't see it much used down here in Victoria. The point of view of coming along to a fight night and being able to see these kids utilise that style of fighting.
Yeah. The Martial Arts Control Board sort of put a stop to the elbows, and it's the first time, and it's good to see that they're allowing it, because obviously there are people out there that do want to fight this particular style.
You can see him throwing in their knees into the kidney area, and like you said, Silvio, after a few of those, even like half a dozen, you'll start to feel a bit giddy in the stomach.
Well, what happens is the kidneys get bruised, and it's you certainly feel it. It slows you down, but the damage is tomorrow and the day after, when you're ending up at the toilet, and these guys. Take a lot of this punishment day in, day out, and it's quite amazing, really, because Muay Thai is probably the most brutal fight game on the planet.
We're having a look here at Pathai in the blue, Non-Leck. And the boys starting to loosen up a little bit at the moment.
Oh, yes.
Right hand come over the top there from Pathai.
Saw an elbow there. These guys are just sizing each other up to start off with. This is a 5-rounder, 3 minutes. 3 minutes each round, and they're not going to go crazy in the first round or two.
Just work each other out first and size each other up, see what they're in for the next 4 rounds, I'd say. And I think the next round will be just a little bit more up than the first, and it'll just pick up from there.
70 kilo range, 73 kilos. Non-Leck.
Nice leg sweep there by Non-Leck.
Probably tradition, but this Australian public probably standing looking at the moment for the first time. I don't think they've ever been to a fight night where they've had music playing while the boys are out there in centre ring.
Yeah, I suppose it can be a little bit off-putting, but these guys, that's how they fight in Thailand. Yep, the crowd's really come out. We've got in excess of 5,000 people here, and the energy is fantastic, and the crowning is going to be an awesome showdown.
Just like two bantams out there, aren't they? Just sizing one another up. Of course, you can see them here at the moment starting to use the back of their heels. Working Nick Zachariah to the back of the hamstrings. The knee comes up frontwards here. Of course, no low blows allowed. And as we said to you before, things will start to warm up from here on in.
So kicking the back of the hamstrings, back of the leg, actually creates the hamstring to cramp up after a while, which obviously weakens the leg of the opponent, and with a good thigh kick after that, bang, down he goes.
Well, that's the old story. Once you start leaning to starboard or to the other side, whichever leg has been worked on, Nick, the hands drop, the jaw becomes open, and the target becomes a little easier.
And bingo, down you go again.
Yep. As they say, the quickest way to bring a tree down is to cut it down at the roots, and that's the basis of the Muay Thai fighting here, is to really bang up those legs so the hands drop. And
good thigh kick came there from Non-Leck. The left flicking leg there of Non-Leck. Kick to the midriff from Pathai.
Oh, yes. Now they are allowed to catch the kicks and counter kick.
And the other thing also, Silvio, on the way down, we were questioning before some of the tactics. It is within the rules to be able to bring the knee up and knee on the way down.
Correct. An opponent can keep firing and attacking an opponent that is going down. Now, so long as the knees are off the floor, you can keep attacking. So once both knees hit the ground or one knee hits the ground, that's when you've got to stop. So if you're quick enough, you can land another one on the way down.
Just having a look at Pathai. He's reading this pretty well at the moment too, Silvio, because he sees the leg coming out here of a non-Leck and just turning the body so that he's really not catching him. Lings him into the ropes. Still all legal.
It's all legal. These takedowns and throws are legal. After a while, they start to take their toll. Nice little jab there.
Yeah, there doesn't look to be a lot happening, but I tell you what, there's a little bit of punishment being taken there from these legs.
It does look a little bit messy, but believe me, these guys...
All strength's happening.
They're very smart. They're working techniques. They're firing the knees. They're working the back of the legs. Good counter jab. Both boys each other.
Okay, this is round 3. 3 of 5. Both fighters have been sizing one another up pretty well, actually. You'll notice in a moment that
Non-Leck throwing a lot of leg kicks there. Pathai following up.
It's a very even fight so far.
At the same time, you notice a lot of the Thai fighters too, Silvio, they never ever seem to not so much have the boxing skills, but they don't rely on the boxing skills. Perhaps like a lot of our boxers here will turn kickboxers here in Australia. Starting to warm up a little bit now.
Some elbows there, some elbows.
Now, Pathai starting to cut loose at the moment.
Yep.
Non-Leck comes back at him and puts him up into that neutral corner at the moment. This is Pathai in the blue trunks.
Oh, some elbows. See that elbow on the inside there? Yep, as you were saying, traditionally the Thais are not exactly the best of boxers, but because the Westerners have been going to Thailand and beating these guys at their own game, these Thais are now starting to pick up their act with the boxing, and you know, they're coming along, but they're certainly...
I met a young bloke downstairs just beforehand, young Darren Hedgecock, who went across and fought. Darren's unfortunately had to give the sport away now because of a knee injury, but he looked a very, very promising prospect to be able to bring this sport out to Australia and show how it's actually fought overseas. Only went over for one fight, I think Silvio too, and came home a victor.
That's correct. He...
Whoa! There's something a little unusual.
Oh, another spinning elbow. Missed. You start seeing some of these things, and they're very powerful. If they connect, boy, lights are out. Oh, that's a good leg check. I can guarantee you, you throw that kick and the guy checks you like that, it hurts. These guys' shins are absolutely rock hard. Oh, another one.
Silvio, they're toughen up. What would fighters like this do?
Nice body.
Well,
kick from
tell you what, they'll be kicking these heavy 6-foot bags, and these guys have got sand in there. Some of these guys actually kick banana trees. Those shins are absolutely rock hard.
Well, Pathai's starting to really cut loose now at the moment. Started to use the elbow too. The right elbow came through on the top of Non-Leck. Still standing though.
Nice left jab from Non-Leck.
Flicks out the left hand, you're right on too, Nick. Pathai on the back move. Non-Leck comes in the red trunks, pushes him hard up against that blue corner. The elbow coming across the top. Now the knee's starting to come up and check so that Non-Leck can't do any work. Keeping him well at bay. Of course, they can throw them off balance at the same time. Kick up underneath though. That just came up underneath the arm. The sound, I think, was worse. Now, I was waiting for it, caught him off balance to lift him up with a spinning elbow.
It's a legal technique. They can hang on and move on with the technique after catching the leg.
And we're seeing a Muay Thai fight here brought to you at the night of the crowning. $50,000 at stake a little bit later on. I can't wait to get into it. Sam Greco and Sam the Man Longanides, but these two bantams here centre at the moment. It's Uthai Pathai in the blue trunks and Non-Leck in the red corner.
Non-Leck being the aggressor. Nice body kick from both opponents. Nice thigh kick from Non-Leck.
Apart from Pathai's elbow, or spinning, as we would refer to it probably as a spinning back fist, we've seen the spinning back elbow.
Nice.
If we want to describe it that way. There's really not a lot of excitement been in this fight.
No, it's been a little bit slow, I must admit. A little bit surprised. The calibre of fighters these guys are. Maybe they're just giving each other a little bit too much respect.
Pathai saw the opportunity to be able to come in underneath the leg, sees it again.
Here we go.
They seem to hold back then. They explode and hold back. If the crowd is slightly bit excited, then they take it away from us. It's a bit like hanging a bit of cheese in front of a mouse and just taking it away.
Pathai just slipping, no damage done. You've got to remember, while these guys virtually hanging on to one another and wrestling one another, which looks very, very untidy, they're still using a lot of energy.
Definitely. The grappling is probably one of the hardest aspects of Muay Thai. And, you know, you have to be extremely fit.
Pathai gets flung to the ground, strong enough. That just shows how much power he's got. Throws off Non-Leck over the top. Non-Leck comes back to him in the blue corner. And they grapple again. The glove goes into the face of Non-Leck. I think the danger here for Non-Leck is the elbows of Pathai if they connect. So 2 or 3 attempts tonight. Just off the mark. Something we haven't seen in the ring for a long time. This style of fighting.
Oh, that elbow connected.
Didn't seem to slow him down much though.
No, these guys are tough. They're used to taking this sort of punishment.
Inside leg kick coming here from Pathai.
Yes, catching
and
the kick.
now the boys starting to loosen up. But as you said before, Silvio, no sooner they seem to loosen up, the crowd get onto their feet and they just go back to this stalking stance again.
Yep, that's the typical fighting style of the Thais. And again, you know, they're fighting for 3 minutes. Long time when you're throwing those kicks, knees, when you're grappling. You know, these guys want to conserve energy because one wrong move and they're in trouble.
Stalking one another throughout this fight. And apart from Pathai utilising a few elbows and a few spinning back kicks, we haven't seen a lot happen.
Oh yes, and now they're starting to wind up a little bit here. Let's hope we see an exciting round here. I can tell you those kicks are hurting. They've got a lot of sting.
Yeah, I think that's what we forget too, Nick, Zachariah. Some of these kicks that do, they just flick the whole time, and they certainly do sting.
Yeah, they certainly do. After a while, they'd start to hurt too, Rob. I mean, you know, it's just it's the consistency of getting hit. Oh, nice thigh kicks. Look at, very good. See him go. So I'm surprised the referee hasn't stopped him from holding onto the rope as he kicks.
Yep.
You notice? He's not really pulling him up on that. But Non-Leck is definitely throwing some nasty right body kicks. Look at that.
Well,
virtually held him.
At the same time, though, Pathai not getting out of the road of them. Oh, here it comes.
I think he's just trying to line him up for that spinning elbow. Just biding his time. Here we go again. I think he was lining him up.
The flicking leg coming out to Pathai, trying to catch it, then turn around and spin, hoping to catch him flush on the jaw. He's attempted half a dozen times through the fight, but still hasn't found the mark.
Look at that. Just shoved him in the face and virtually just pushed him away. Non-Leck in the red, Pathai in the blue. Nice front kick by Non-Leck.
Got a bit of a shock to Pathai then too, just quietly. the heel of Non-Leck, straight down the front of the chest of Pathai. Oh, good kicks from Pathai, and also Non-Leck coming back with left and rights now with a roundhouse leg kick.
Oh,
looking straight up to the head.
Nice kick.
Again, using the ropes though, Silvio.
I know, and the referee's not picking it up. But, you know, both boys are starting to warm up now. It's a little bit late, the last round, but anyway. Non-Leck, the aggressor here. He's doing a lot of work. He's throwing a lot of kicks, and in this particular round, I've got him in front.
I agree with you, Silvio. I think Non-Leck is definitely in front. He's throwing more kicks, more punches. He's the aggressor in this fight.
I tend to agree that he's been the aggressor, but I think I'll just keep quiet after what happened earlier on the night tonight. I'll sit on the fence. I'll have 50 cents each way.
We haven't done too well tonight, have we?
Oh, well, you've got to get one wrong every now and then. But
I know why we're not the judges.
well, you only call it as you see it. And there's the bell to end the fifth and final round of this fight here at the Entertainment Centre.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. The winner from the blue corner, Pathai from Auckland,
Do you believe
New
that?
Zealand.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think the early rounds he did more work with the knees, and I think he scored more. And let's not forget, Muay Thai, the knees are a higher scoring technique.
Well, you can see by the look there of Non-Leck, he's not happy with the decision. As far as Pathai is concerned, he couldn't be any happier. I'll tell you one thing, boys, I'm glad I sat on the fence because I just had a gut feeling it was going to happen.